On to the ridiculous story of the day. It comes from over the weekend, I believe. A family was banned from, for life, mind you, from flying with United Airlines because their two-year-old daughter would not put a mask on. I kid you not. This is the first video that was shown. Okay, this is the first video, went viral, and I'm not sure this particular family's name. I will try and get the name of them if I can. But here's the first video.
We just got kicked off the flight because our 2-year-old would not put on a mask, and we tried. I mean, I'm gonna put a video on. And they're sending all of our bags and Adeline's car seat to New York. And we're banned off of United forever because a 2-year-old would not put on a mask.
Now, I know a lot of people are saying, well, it is, it is a mandate, and they're a private company. They can enforce their policies if they wish to enforce that policy. That's great, and I'm fine with that. If you want to enforce your policy, then great. But in whose world is a 2-year-old going to willingly put a mask on? I think that's the most ridiculously stupid policy that anybody could have. And I've looked at a lot of policies since this COVID outbreak, and a lot of them I didn't agree with. A lot of them were stupid, but the vast majority of them understood that children are not going to willingly put a piece of cloth over their face for hours on end, but 2, that children are the very lowest of the potential spreaders of the virus, and the general consensus has been that masks don't generally work as well as they would like you to believe they do. So to require a 2-year-old to wear a mask for hours is ludicrous as on its face. But I did a little bit of Google searching, and as of May of 2020, United Airlines policy for mask wearing was children under 5 did not have to. And now this gentleman is saying that 2 and under. How do you, first of all, age like that is very arbitrary anyway, because you can't draw a line in the sand and say that as soon as you turn 2, you have some different superpower to spread the virus more so than you did a day earlier before you were 2. That's why I've never used the age as a some sort of scientific factual overlord, because if I'm 39 and then tomorrow I turn 40, I don't suddenly spread the virus any more than I did the day before. So the age bracket for this coronavirus is arbitrary at best. But what prompted the airline, or any airline for that matter, to change their policy in such a short time span is the question. May to December even, the cases overall have fairly well plateaued. The deaths are, I mean, they're fairly stagnant, with the exception of a few hot spots and spikes here and there. But for a virus that has a 99.96 survival rate among the entire population and a 99.993 survival rate amongst children under the age of 10 or 12. Now, a second video was released, and it was the video of the actual altercation on the flight. And honestly, I think the parents, the lady that was talking just a few minutes ago, and her husband or significant other, did more than they really should have. Because I gotta tell you, if I went anywhere and they told me that my daughter, who's 9, had to wear a mask for hours on end, or I would not be able to utilize their services, I would find other services. There are plenty of companies that offer services, especially airlines. And I guarantee you, said airlines would have no problem with a 2-year-old not wearing a mask if it was that big of an issue to get the 2-year-old to put the mask on. Take a look.
Okay? Okay, let me set that in there. Set that in there. Okay? Okay, ako yung para set that. So, if I want
Do you want to try putting it on her?
Yes.
Adeline, está grabando.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're almost ready to go. So please put away your carry-on items, including your large electronic devices like laptops. Feel free to keep using it.
Why? We're over here holding this mask on her face. I'm sorry, sir. I gave you another opportunity. And I took that opportunity and I ran with it. You see this? I'm literally covering her face. Do you guys do this all the time or what? Like, what? This is compliance. I'm literally holding it over my daughter's face. This is compliance right here.
We can't force her. She's literally holding it and she's crying.
You're gonna do this to us? Like right now? Yeah? Wow.
All right, let's go.
Now, as I said, I think that they did far more than they really should have. I mean, he was close to smothering that child with the mask in order to try and comply with the demands of the arbitrary mandate. And what I think frustrates me the absolute most is that this is where our society has driven ourselves. I mean, we have literally driven ourselves to forcing small children to do things that they should never have to do. And saying, I know you don't understand, but you have to do this, or mommy and daddy and you are not going to be able to go on vacation or go to wherever they were going to. That's where our society has gotten, and it's getting quite ridiculous when it boils down. Okay? This is deeply disturbing that our children are being taught to conform to the opinion and the belief of some arbitrary mandate. Now, I don't know what other airlines' policies are, but I can almost guarantee you that there is another airline that does not mandate children at 2 years old be forced to be muzzled with a mask for hours on end. Now, not only did they kick them off of the plane, they banned them for forever for flying with United, but then they rubbed salt in the wound, if you will, by not allowing them to get their luggage that was, I assume, checked. And when asked about it, this is what they had to say.
The jacket's up there. What happens now?
You
Book us first class, can you work?
no, sir.
Yes, sir.
You can't fly me. You can't fly me, no?
So we're hard off United.
Yes. Well, not determined that you're not there. I don't know what.
Because our 2-year-old daughter would not put on a mask. Not us, but our 2-year-old daughter.
I get it. I get it.
What do you mean you get it? But like I don't understand.
You should say
She's 2. She's literally 2.
What are you guys doing? Seriously.
There's a no tolerance policy.
What do you mean? We've flown all summer. She's flown with us. And they never had this policy. It was under 5. She's 2. How are you going to enforce a 2-year-old?
That's the rules.
Okay. So what are we doing? We got our bags. Like what happens now?
We have 3 bags on that plane.
They'll go on to your destination.
They're gonna go.
What?
You're gonna stop that plane right now.
Our child seat is on that plane. How are we supposed to go home? Is this an actual?
So not only did they kick them off the plane, they basically embarrassed them in front of an entire plane full of people. They banned them for life. Well, what he said, an undetermined amount of time, which is a ban for life. But then they refused to allow them to get the luggage that was underneath the plane, and said that that luggage would be at their destination that they cannot fly to now because you kicked them off the flight and banned them. And you heard the lady say that their car seat for the child was in there. So now, not only do they not get their luggage, but they don't get their child's car seat. Now, how are they supposed to drive their 2-year-old to their house or anywhere else for that matter now that you kicked them off the plane without the car seat that you refuse to let them get? That is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard in my life. I've never heard of such stupidity. Even through this pandemic, I've never heard of such stupidity from a company. And honestly, not that I fly really hardly at all anyway, I will never, even after the pandemic, I will never forget that United kicked a family off of a plane, banned them for life, and then forced them to allow their luggage to be sent halfway across the country just because a 2-year-old didn't want to willingly muzzle their face. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that segment from the Johnny Ray Show. If you liked that segment, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to check out one of the other videos that should be playing in one of these boxes here somewhere. There's boxes. Click on the boxes. Make sure to subscribe. Click the bell. And make sure to check me out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for all new episodes of the Johnny Ray Show. Thank you.